Well, you ever wondered about my beard? Seems like whenever somebody starts talking about the things of God and the people of God and or the people trying to represent God, they come under a lot of personal attacks, and you'll hear any number of things like, "Well, did you know? Did you know that he's gay?" Or "Did you know that he doesn't know about personal hygiene or how to comb his hair or trim his beard or all kinds of stuff like that?" So I guess that's what this message is about, to be honest with you. I've been told to tell you about my beard, which is not all that spiritually significant, other than the fact I'm doing what he's telling me to do. I mean, if he wanted me to cut it, shape it, trim it, that's what I'd do. The fact that he said no means that he has a reason behind it. Means that there's a shadow picture there somewhere. People just have to be smart enough to look at me and say, "Lord, what is it about his beard?" Now, I'm not talking about just any Lord. I'm talking about the Lord of Jesus Christ. Because Lord is a title. Okay? You let that sink in for a little bit. Now you know who we're talking about. You look at my beard and you say, "Hey, Jehovah God, what's up with his beard?" So we talk to God. We ask him questions. Instead of asking everybody but him, why don't you ask him? There's a good chance he's the one telling me to grow it the way it is and to not trim it up and leave it alone. And if you do that, he'll tell you something like this. It's not cut or changed or altered in any way. It's not dressed up. Okay? There's no bells, there's no whistles, there's no ribbons. Okay? There's no attempt to make it anything other than what it is. Okay? Much like what you hear coming out of my mouth. If it's the Word of God, it's going to stand or fall on its own. If it's the Word of God, it's going to stand. It's going to be proven. It's going to be backed up by Scriptures. Okay? Why don't I list a lot of the Scriptures that I speak of? Well, I'm hoping that people have the wisdom and the foresight to go to God in prayer and see for themselves. I'm trying to do two things. I'm trying to give you good food so that you get some nourishment, and I'm trying to make you hungrier so that you start seeking more. And it becomes more of a routine instead of, "Okay, it's time to go to Sunday church. It's time to sit down. Let's all get fed." You know, then we sit down, we listen to the message, good, bad, and different. Doesn't matter, because, to be honest, if your heart isn't right with God, if you don't realize that we're supposed to receive daily bread, it ain't going to matter. Because oftentimes what happens is we don't apply one word. Not one word. Nothing. Okay? And that's even if you're fortunate enough to find someone who really loves God, serves God, and obeys God. because there ain't a lot of them folks left who actually are part of a church. Because a lot of what's in churches has become so corrupt because they got all this overhead they got to support. You know, they got to keep the lights on, they got to keep all this other stuff, the air conditioner going, they got to keep the grounds clean, they got to keep the building repaired, they got all this stuff they got to do. Instead of coming to their friends and the people they care about, the people they love, and saying, hey, we might have to give up this building because we can't afford to keep it, because I was told that I have to make a deal and I have to sign a charter that basically says that, I have to believe this way, I have to do this, I have to do that, and they'll help me keep the lights on. How many of you, as preachers, pastors, and ministers, have went to your body, went to your friends, went to your loved ones, went to the people you really care about, you get up every Sunday morning for, and said, I'm being asked to make a deal. What do you want me to do? You think we should get rid of the building and still meet? Or should we just make the deal and keep going business as usual? Well, if they really care about you, if you're really fulfilling the 3 commands of Christ, chances are that building went bye-bye. If you're not, you got a nice new Bentley, and you've really, really been prospered, and you really got another house out of the deal, and everybody's got shiny new cushions. But is that really what spiritually happened? Did God say, because you made this deal, I'm going to make you financially wealthy? That should have been your first clue. He ain't interested in wealth. Not in this world. So what does that have to do with my beard? Well, if you remember me telling you, it is exactly the way it's growing for a reason. That gives God the opportunity to say, my word is either going to stand or fail on its own. And if you know anything about His true, unadulterated word, you know everything Jesus says will happen, is happening. Nothing He says will fail to accomplish the purpose in which it was sent for. Alrighty, guys. May you grow in wisdom and love.